From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota, good evening, everyone. I'm Andy Simon alongside Adam Dietz as we get set for North Dakota high school football action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the West Fargo Packers. Football on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level.
This broadcast is presented by...
Stay tuned and we will resume shortly right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Border States Electric, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, More Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, St. Sophie's Psychiatric Center, SANFORD Health, and SCHEELS.
Welcome back, everyone, and once again, thank you for tuning in to Shanley TV as we have an exciting game for you tonight between the Shanley Deacons and West Fargo Packers. Actually, Shanley High School's homecoming football game tonight. A little late in the season, but regardless, we do have a great game for you. And Adam, going into this game, who are some key players for both teams that we should really watch out for?
Probably starting off, I'm going to talk about the guys on the front line. We got Carson Ford, Nathaniel Schuster, and Houston Visto. Those men, they got to play hard tonight. They got Braden Block on the Deacons and Simon Bowden up front, and those guys are mean on the football field. So all they got to do is work hard, and they just got to protect their quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of talent in the lineman category for both of these teams who both have good offensive lines and defensive lines. And going into this game, what do you think are some things that both teams really need to maybe try to get better at or try to limit to see a lot of success?
First of all, I think the Shanley Deacons, they just got to slow it down. Sometimes when they get into those no-huddle situations, they speed up, throwing bad passes, running wrong routes, and just bad communication. So I think they can improve on that. And then something they're doing good on is good blocks, running good routes, hard routes, and playing good defense. And probably for the Packers, I know they're good at running the ball, and they have a good quarterback and really good receivers. So I think they just got to run the routes good, and I think that's going to make it a good football game.
No, I agree with you there. Just to touch on some of the things you were saying, like how Shanley kind of needs to slow things down every now and then. I know what you mean when they really like to keep the momentum up and just kind of go down the field as fast as they can. But I agree with you that sometimes they just need to keep the tempo down a little bit to stay collected and be able to make big plays. And kind of like what you're saying, they do have some players who are able to really explode for huge gains and even long touchdowns. So that's definitely something West Fargo is going to have to look out for, especially since they have that very strong defensive line, as we were saying. They should be able to kind of close down on and shut those plays down early before they can really develop. So overall, I'd agree with you saying that West Fargo just kind of needs to bear down and really be able to contain some of these players for Shanley. But we await the kickoff here as both teams still are having their starters announced. Well, Shanley is at this point. Great night so far. A little cool in the air. Nice fall night. Leaves are starting to turn. Early October. It's looking nice for football weather. And just another thing to ask you here, Adam. Do you think that Shanley could maybe bounce back a little bit from some of the miscues that they had last week after that long little break they had from that bye week?
I think so. I know it was like 2 weeks. It's kind of hard to stay focused on football season, but I think after these couple practices, they got back in it, and they look ready in these warm-ups, and I've just heard that practice is going well, and they're ready for this football game.
Yeah, they definitely appear to be locked in, and like you were saying, hopefully the football practice is going to be going well as they're kind of coming together more as a team, seeing each other for maybe the most they've seen in a couple weeks. And especially with homecoming, as we mentioned earlier tonight, they might have a little extra motivation going into this game to maybe pull out a victory against West Fargo. And I actually heard a story from one of our Shanley teachers, Mr. Finch. he was saying that Shanley has only ever lost one homecoming game ever, and it was to West Fargo. So it'll be interesting to see if West Fargo can continue to spoil Shanley's fun on homecoming, or if Shanley can kind of get a little revenge from about 30 years ago. So West Fargo will kick the ball off here to start the game, and that will be Landon Pritchard, who will be kicking off for West Fargo. You have Carter Kochman and Carson Dean back deep to receive for the Deacons. Two very explosive players, as we were kind of touching on earlier. It appears everyone is ready for the kickoff. Ref saying a few words to Pritchard. Maybe a little delay here. Looks like they might be getting the chains ready or the down marker ready, as we do look like we are ready to kick off. Excuse me, that actually appears to be Casey Ortiz who will be kicking it off. Little ground ball kick. That'll be received by Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores trying to make a couple moves. Moves east and west there a little bit, but Shanley will start off with the ball at the 24-yard line of their own territory.
Yeah, it's tough for Johnny there to get that ball to the outside or get a good block, because kind of like a squib kick. And just all the West Fargo guys were just right on him right away.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of blockers in front of him, and that was definitely very evident. It was, as you said, the West Fargo Packers were just swarming on him as fast as they could really early in the play. So the Deacons come out with two receivers to the left. That'll be Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield. And Mattern will hand it off to Devine. Devine trying to get up through that defensive line, and he will not gain much. Appears he may lose a yard on that play. Regardless, it'll bring up 2nd and long for the Deacons. It'll be 2nd and 11 now for the Deacons.
Ortiz did a good job timing that snap. He got past the center and cut the gap and hit the running back.
So Shanley comes out now with two receivers on either side. Mattern alone in the backfield. They will send Gores in motion to the right. They will fake the jet sweep and looks to throw a little screen to Carson Dean. Dean trying to get around a defender, but he will be wrapped up and taken down immediately. So we'll bring up 3rd and long for the Deacons.
It's almost like that Packer defense knew that play was coming. They had all their cornerbacks and linebackers going straight towards Dean.
And those are two plays that we see a lot in Shanley's playbook, where they'll usually try to run it right up the middle with one of their power backs, or they'll send someone in motion, fake it, try to throw a little screen. But so far, West Fargo's done a great job of reading those plays and being able to shut them down. So 3rd and 12 now for the Deacons. They'll be at their own 22-yard line. Mattern joined by Devine. He'll fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for Hunter Hannison, will connect. Hunter shakes off one tackle, and Hannison will push forward for a nice gain. Does appear a yard or two shy of the first down, however. And there we see just another one of those nice little short, quick passes by the Deacons to get the ball out and try to have the receivers see what they can do with it. So it'll be 4th and 3 now. It appears that Cooper Mattern is still out on the field. And the Deacons will sub in, I believe that is Tyler Kraft for Hunter Hannison. So the Deacons come out with 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right as they send Gores in motion. Fake the handoff to Gores, and they will throw out a screen to Carson Dean. Dean trying to power forward, and it appears he may be shy of the first down. And they will call it Packer football after a turnover on downs for the Deacons. As we see on the replay there, Dean trying to push his way through for a couple extra yards there and unable to gain the first down. So that will be first down in great starting field position for the Packers from the 33-yard line of the Deacons. Just under 10 minutes left in this first quarter. Score still 0-0. And that will be Peyton Jancy, who will be taking the snaps for the Packers tonight at quarterback. It looks like he'll be joined by Parker Nelson in the backfield, as Jancy will roll to his left. And he will connect. Play will be stopped shy of the first down by the Deacon defense.
I think we're going to be seeing that a lot. Jancy to Hagerly on that left side. Hagerly's a junior, and he's making some plays like this in this heat. So,
yeah, with that 6'3", 180 frame, Hagerly will definitely be a big target for Jancy tonight. So the Packers come out with 2 receivers out to the right, and Jancy joined by Nelson in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Nelson. Nelson trying to get around a couple Deacons. Gains a yard or 2 on that play and will be brought out of bounds around the 20-21 yard line. Looks like he was trying to juke out. I believe that's Brady Boyle there. Does get around him a little bit for a nice gain, and that will pick up the first down for the Packers. So it will be 1st and 10 from the Deacons 21-yard line for the Packers. They'll come out once again with 2 receivers split out to the left, and Jancy joined by Nelson in the backfield. Jancy will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He will tuck the ball for himself, be met by 2 Deacons almost right away. Nice gain of about 5 or 6 on that for Jancy. And that's one thing that we'll probably see a lot between both these quarterbacks tonight, is Cooper Mattern is a quarterback who likes to tuck the ball and take it for himself, try to get some contact for a hit. And as we see Jancy there too, kind of taking on 2 Deacons at once with the ball. Not too often you see quarterbacks making moves like that. So it'll be 2nd and 5 now from the Deacons 15-yard line. This drive looking good so far for the Packers, as they'll line up well with single receivers on both sides. It'll be Jancy joined by Nelson. Jancy rolls to his right, looks to pass, and that ball will be completed. It'll be, I believe, Jaden Gressrud. So it'll be 1st and goal now for the Packers. Looks like he's at the 6-yard line of the Deacons. 7-yard line, correction. So 1st and goal now for the Packers, as Jancy will go under center here, and Nelson will be the lone back in the backfield. And they will hand it off to Nelson. Nelson trying to get up through a couple Deacon defenders, finds a nice little hole, will be stopped shy of the goal line. We'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Packers now.
I don't think the Deacons expected the Packers to be running the ball so much and actually throwing these short passes. I think they were watching film last week and just thinking they were a long ball, toss-it-up team. But we're seeing a lot of QB rollouts and a lot of short, quick slants.
Yeah, so far West Fargo's kind of looking almost like Shanley's offense, operating with mostly runs, usually up the middle, some to the outside, and mostly just quick, short passes across the field. So it's 2nd and goal now. Jancy in the shotgun, joined by Nelson in the backfield. Jancy will fake the handoff, looks to run it, but will throw a little screen that will fall incomplete. He was aiming for Carson Hagerly on that play.
Hagerly got a little shook up there. Kind of a blindside hit, but he's walking, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, Hagerly taking a minute to breathe here, as it looks like we will have an injury timeout. Just a reminder, folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us contribute to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support of Shanley TV. So we get back in action here. It is 3rd and goal here for the Packers. They'll be at the 3-yard line. And it looks like Jancy will line up in the shotgun. Nelson trailing behind him in the backfield. It looks like they'll hand it off to Nelson. Nelson trying to find the outside corner. Maybe a little room as he reaches for the end zone, and he will get it. Touchdown Packers. A nice run there by Parker Nelson to get to the outside and extend the ball to cross the goal line. As we see Carter Kochman pursuing him rapidly, he's able to get it right down inside the pylon for the touchdown.
Yeah, good play by the Packers. You saw Barron caught in the slot. He motioned over, and they snapped the ball. He got around, and Nelson got to the corner of the end zone.
And this will be, I believe this is Landon Pritchard. And this kick will be up and through the uprights. Correction, that might be Hagerly kicking. I believe that is Carson Hagerly actually kicking the PATs for the Packers, as Hagerly will make the score now 7-0 in favor of the West Fargo Packers over the Shanley Deacons. So not quite half the first quarter done here, as we've seen West Fargo with the ball for the majority of the game so far in a nice little drive, stringing together nice runs up the middle as well as nice short, quick passes. So Shanley looking to kind of maybe bounce back on offense here after coming out what looks like they may have been a little shocked by how West Fargo came out and started. They were able to shut them down on pretty much every aspect of their offense, and then West Fargo's offense just marched right down the field and was able to score that touchdown.
With Shanley getting the ball again, Andy, what do you think the Deacons got to do on the offense?
I think they might have to try out their run game for at least one more drive. Obviously, maybe sprinkling some nice short passes like they always do here and there. But for the most part, I think they just need to try out their run game. And if that doesn't work, then maybe shift more towards passing game. But I don't think you can give up on your run game this early yet, especially if you're Shanley with a lot of dynamic players like we talked about with Aiden Devine, Johnny Gores, Carson Dean, Carter Kochman. All players who are very dangerous when you hand the ball off to their hands.
Yeah, I think they need to step away from the bubbles and short slants, and they just got to have some faith in the receivers and throw some deep balls.
And so far, West Fargo's secondary has really been pouncing on those short bubble screens like you were talking about. They've been just flying around, being able to disrupt those plays with ease. So Shanley will line up first and 10 here as they are on their own 35-yard line. They'll line up with 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. They'll send Johnny Gores in motion to the right, and Gores will get the handoff, but he will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage immediately. That West Fargo defensive line really showing out early in this game. That'll be Casey Ortiz on the tackle. Nice job of getting through the offensive line there and just dripping Johnny straight to the ground. So that'll bring up 2nd and 13 now for the Deacons. And a shout out to Brock Ellingson for watching from the lake. Thank you for your support of Shanley TV. It is always appreciated. And if anyone else wants a shout out and is tuning in right now, be sure to tweet us at Shanley TV and we'll try to get you up there as fast as possible. So once again, they'll send Gores in motion to the right. They'll fake the handoff. Mattern looks to pass. He has to scramble away from a little bit of pressure. And it looks for, I believe that was Carter Kochman he was intending the pass for, but that pass will go out of bounds and brings up 3rd down and 13 for the Deacon offense. Just over 6 minutes left in this first quarter. The score, once again, 7-0 in favor of the Packers. Yeah, and that's a tough throw there for Cooper to make as he's rolling out to his right. Kind of has to throw off his back foot a little bit. Good job for him to kind of get in the zone area, but like I said, that's a tough play to make. You can't really blame him for missing that pass by a little bit. And they'll throw a little shovel pass to Aiden Devine. Devine just trucking through the defense. Will be shy of the first down, but regardless, a nice little gain there by Aiden Devine. Yeah, and there we see Aiden Devine really powering through, keeping those legs pumping at all times to get through his ensuers. So 4th and 4 here as the Deacons will go for it again. Mattern is joined by Devine in the backfield, but they do have 3 receivers split out to the left. And Mattern looks to hard count them, but they will not bite on that. And Mattern will throw a quick little screen out to Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores trying to find a little room. And it looks like he picked up the first down. We'll see the official ruling. And they will call it a first down, so the Deacons will retain possession. Yeah, nice job by Johnny Gores there as it looked like he was getting yanked backwards a little bit. Almost looked like the Packer defender was trying to pull him back from the sticks there, but great job by Johnny Gores to shift his momentum forward and pick that up.
Yeah, props to the wide receivers, too, blocking. He couldn't have done that without them.
So 1st and 10 now from their own 45. 3 to the left and 2 to the right as Johnny Gores is sent in motion. Mattern will fake the jet sweep and take it for himself. Nice gain of 4 yards on that play. And there we see, as we mentioned earlier, Cooper Mattern taking it for himself, even finding a little bit of contact while he's running. And another shout out to my own blood once again, Raymond H. Simon. Thank you, Grandpa, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Always glad to hear from my family. So 2nd and 6 now for the Deacons. 3 receivers to the left. Mattern joined once again by Devine in the backfield. Excuse me, that's Kochman in the backfield as he will pitch it out to Kochman. Kochman trying to find a little space. Gets spun around a little bit as he's taken down, but a nice gain. Looks to be just shy of the 1st down, but will bring up 3rd and 1 for the Deacon offense.
Very good play call by the Deacons. They saw number 9 over there on the corner. He blitzed about 3 plays ago. Mattern fakes at him, pitches out to Kochman. He gets a couple yards.
So 3rd and short now for the Deacons as they will come out with doubles receivers. And Mattern joined once again by Kochman in the backfield. And Mattern will just take it for himself and run it up the middle, and it appears he gains the 1st down. And he will gain the 1st down in a couple yards more. Ball comes out at the end of that play, but the whistle did make the play dead.
You don't see many quarterbacks who like to tuck and run like that. Just put their head down in the hole and just go for it.
Yeah, Mattern almost looking like a power back there. It almost looks like he's seeking out contact as he's lowering the shoulder and just pounding forward. Yeah, like you said, not many quarterbacks we see do that today. A little more common in high school, but overall not very common. So it's 1st and 10 for the Deacons now from the West Fargo Packers 41-yard line, excuse me. And Mattern will throw a little dump off to Kochman. Kochman will drop it, but will pick it up right away. And they will call it an incomplete pass. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Deacons offense. That was one thing that we saw a lot last week was the Deacons were having a lot of struggles with ball security. We saw the ball on the turf multiple times in both halves, and they started to pick up on it a little more and were able to wind down on those in the 2nd half, but still an issue that you definitely do not like to see. And another shout out here to Aiden Devine's grandma watching from Elbow Lake, Minnesota. Thank you for tuning in, as your grandson is putting on quite the show so far, running the ball up the middle. And Mattern will look to pass, but will escape some pressure, tucks the ball for a little bit, but looks to throw, will tuck it again. And Mattern getting past one defender, but will be taken down after a gain of 3 or 4 on that play. We'll bring up 3rd down for the Deacons offense.
Good looking footwork by Mattern there. About 3 guys coming blitz on him and just gets right around him.
And a good job there by Mattern to not quite give up on the play as he looks for a lot of different options. We see him look to pass, then tuck the ball, then look to pass again, then tuck the ball again, and eventually just run it for himself. So it's 3rd and 6 now. Clock winding down in the 1st quarter here as there's just over 2 minutes left. They will send Devine in motion, but that play will be blown dead. And a timeout will be taken by the Shanley Deacons. And folks, Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticlub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. So, Adam, what do you think Shanley is kind of talking over in this timeout as they did take one on 3rd down and 6 here?
Well, I think it's getting close to 4th down, and last time they were 4th down, went for it. I guess 2 times ago. It didn't go their way, and I think they're just talking about getting focused. It's still the first quarter. They got lots of time left, and I think they just got to work harder. That's all I got to do.
I agree with you there. I mean, there's not a whole lot scheme-wise that they really have to change. It looks like their play calls are good and their ideas are good. It's just there's some things that aren't quite translating onto the field that they just need to maybe, like you said, work harder at or just think a little more. As they will send Gores in motion. Mattern will look for a nice little screen to Carter Copeland, but he will be stopped after a little gain there. Another shout out here, folks, to Lynn Swenson. Thank you for tuning in. And once again, folks, if anyone else would like a shout out, just tweet at us at Shanley TV, and we'll try to get you up on the stream. So it's 4th and 9 now for the Deacons. So far, Shanley is 50% on 4th down conversions. 4th and 7, as they will line up with 3 receivers to the right, and Mattern will be joined by Devine in the backfield. Mattern just looks to, he will punt it for himself, and this will be a nice punt coverage by the Deacons, as that ball will be inside the West Fargo 10-yard line. And we see Mattern kind of pull out this Tom Brady-esque play once again, where it looks like they're about to run a play, but then the quarterback will just punt it away from himself, and gives the defense a pretty good spot to work with, as West Fargo will set up from their own 8-yard line. 2:16 left in the first quarter. West Fargo still leading Shanley 7-0.
What do you think the Deacons got to change when they get the ball next for that nose guard, number 92, Ortiz? He's just blowing up their line.
I think what they might have to try to do is maybe go back to the jet sweep. They've only ran that 2, maybe 3 times, and it did kind of get blown up a couple times, but it doesn't hurt to try it again and see if maybe West Fargo's change anything for Shanley's favor, as that will be Jancy attempting the pass, but it will be swatted down by, it looks like, that will be Carter Copeland who batted that ball down. So that'll be 2nd and 10 for the Packers now. So West Fargo comes out on 2nd and 10. They will have one receiver on both sides, as Jancy is joined by Nelson in the backfield. Jancy will look to pass. And he looks a little deep, as that will be caught and loose. The ball is on the turf, but it's picked up by West Fargo once again. And West Fargo will score on this play after a little hijinks at midfield. That'll be Carter Bierenkoff, who picks it up and runs it into the end zone. There are penalty flags on the field, however. Regardless of the flag, that was a great play by Bierenkott to have the awareness to pick that ball up off the turf and keep running down the field.
Yeah, you don't see like a bunch of speed like that from a big man. Once he got that ball, he just took off and took to the end zone.
So that touchdown will stand, as the penalty was on the Deacons. And the score is now 13-0. As this will be Carson Hagerly to try to tack on the extra point once again. And the hold is down, and Hagerly's kick will be good. Your score now, West Fargo 14, Shanley nothing. Just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter here. Adam, so far, what are some things that you've noticed that Shanley should really change or really try to work on going forward to try to contain this dangerous West Fargo offense?
Well, I think defensively, their line just has to step it up. Ortiz is playing both ways, and he's playing harder than all of them. So they just got to step it up there. And the backfield, they just have to, I guess, focus and talk. So they've done this so many times, but they just got to put it into play now.
Yeah, it seems that Shanley's defensive line hasn't quite been getting as much pressure as they're used to. They have gotten to Jancy a little bit on some of his rollouts, but overall they're just kind of looking a little slower from how they've looked these past couple weeks prior.
I'm still shook about that play. I only see those types of plays in Madden, so I'm still shook, but hopefully the Deacons can throw them back.
So this will be Casey Ortiz to kick it away. Another line drive, as that will roll through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Nice kick there by Casey Ortiz. Usually we see that. We're used to seeing that type of leg strength with Emmett Kenny kicking him off, but he does the job well for the Packers, putting the Deacons in only at their own 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Deacons' own 20-yard line. 1:56 left in this first quarter. West Fargo leading them 14-0. And the Deacons will line up with only one receiver on each side, and Mattern will be joined by Aiden Devine, and it looks like Carter Kochman in the backfield, as they will hand it off to Devine. Devine with a short gain, 1 maybe 2 yards on there. Or that is Carter Kochman, excuse me. Yeah, Shanley almost looking like their old Full House offense with that 3-back lineup. Another shout out to Peter Simon and Patrick Knockdown Strom, a local Shanley basketball legend, who are tuned in and enjoying Grandmaster Mac. With another comment, go accounting class. I am currently a part of an accounting class. I've only heard legendary stories of the Core 4, I believe it was. And Mattern will attempt this pass to, it looks like Kochman. That will fall incomplete. Or excuse me, that will be completed.
I think it was a good thing he went down with that one because he was about to get rocked.
Good observation, Adam. I agree with you there. May have been the smart thing, smart heads-up play. Another shout-out from Grandma, Aunt Lacey, and Andrea to Jacob Build. Go West Fargo. Just a reminder, any West Fargo fans out there who want to get a shout-out, we will gladly get your name up on the stream. Just tweet us at Shanley TV, regardless of who you're cheering for, and we'll try to get you up here. And that will be Mattern taken down on 3rd down, as that looks like it may be the last play of the quarter here. And that would be 4th and 11 for the Deacons. Another 4th and long situation here. They've gone for the first 3 fourth downs so far. Only completed 1 of the 3 attempts, as they will let this first quarter wind down, and we will flip sides of the field momentarily. So a big decision here for Shanley, whether they should try to maybe get something going here early in the second quarter and establish a drive, or if they just punt it away to this dangerous West Fargo offense, as their defense has been dangerous as well, really coming in to shut down plays for Shanley when they really need them.
I think they'd be smart just to punt this one off. They still have a lot of football to play, and I think they can get a couple scores.
I agree with you there. You kind of got to look to the long run here and see if what you're going to do now will affect you more later or affect you more now. And I agree with you that punting may be the smart move, as it could maybe prevent West Fargo from starting in better field position and maybe putting up another touchdown. And another shout-out, watching from Diego Garcia in the middle of the Indian Ocean, from Mark Sorensen. Thank you for tuning in, an 86 grad of Shanley High School. Thank you for tuning in from all over the world tonight. And we await for the 4th down decision here. And it looks like they haven't flipped sides of the field yet, as they should be going towards the south now. Or correction, it appears that there is just 1 second left for the first quarter, so they will not switch field position quite yet, as they will run this last play of the first quarter, 4th down and 10 for the Deacons. Appears to be some stoppage in play still, as the refs will start play here with some more stoppage in play here. And there may have been not quite sure what that was all about, but we got the play going, and Mattern will just punt it away once again. Some nice arc on that punt, as it will roll to about the 41-yard line. So not a bad little punt by the quarterback, Cooper Mattern, there, as he's able to get it across the 50 and to the 41. So it will be 1st and 10 from the Packers in their own territory at their own 41-yard line. And we now will flip field position as the Packers will be going to the north. Yeah, so far it looks like Shanley may be a little shocked by how West Fargo's come out. Shanley just hasn't quite looked themselves, as we're used to seeing a lot of big yardage gain plays, big explosive plays by some of their playmakers early in the game. We haven't really seen any of that, as they've kind of been shut down really in every aspect of the game so far by this West Fargo team.
The seniors for the Deacons, they got to step up a little bit. You can tell seniors on West Fargo, they're fired up. They're getting everybody hyped up, but the Deacons just look a little down right now. So they got to change that mentality to win this football game.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Packers here from their own 41. They'll have one receiver split out left and one in sort of a wing position, or in a slot, sorry, as that'll be Jancy faking the handoff to Nelson, taking it for himself. Nice gain of 5 or 6 on that play. And yeah, so far it's really looking like West Fargo may be taking some plays out of Shanley's playbook, as that's a play that Shanley really likes to run a lot with fake handoff to the back and then just tucking it away by the quarterback, lowering the shoulder, getting some nice gainage on that play. So it'll be 2nd and 6 now from the West Fargo zone 45-yard line. 2 receivers on either side. Jancy under center, and that'll be Nelson in the backfield. Jancy will hand it right off to Nelson. Nelson trying to power through as he is swarmed by the Deacon defensive line. Gain of 1.5 yards on that play. Another shout out to Shanley teacher Amanda Miller. Thank you for tuning in, Mrs. Miller. We greatly appreciate it. And just once again, folks, if anyone else would like a shout out, just tweet us at Shanley TV. And we'll try to mention your name as soon as possible. So 3rd and 4 now for the Packers from their own 47-yard line. They'll have one receiver on either side, and Jancy is joined by Nelson in the backfield, as Jancy will just roll right, looks to pass. That will be completed for the West Fargo 1st down. And that will be, it looks like, Carter Burenkoff on the reception. Yeah, Carter Burenkoff using that 6'4", 200-pound frame to kind of power over those Deacon secondaries and make that grab and push forward for a nice 1 extra 2 yards after the reception.
Yeah, good play call. They had a 6'4" guy on the outside against a 5'6" guy, and far side just tossed it up, and he caught it.
And Nelson will receive this handoff, escapes 1 tackle for a loss, and is going forward now, as he'll get a nice gain of about 5, maybe 6 on that play.
Great footwork and speed by Nelson there.
Yeah, at the beginning of this play, it almost looked like, I believe that's Brady Boyle, who was about to just completely disrupt it, but Nelson, with some elusive footwork, as Adam Dietz pointed to, and is able to get around and actually gain yardage on that play.
Have you noticed that the Shanley Deacons are struggling on wrapping up and making good tackles this game?
I have noticed that. There have been, like we just see there, Nelson was able to get wrapped up on, but not quite being able to get taken down. And we've seen that a couple other times in the backfield, as the Deacon defensive linemen have been able to get through, but like you said, they just haven't been able to finish. So it is 2nd and 4 now, as that will be Jancy looking to pass. Pocket collapsing, escaping it, tucks the ball, looks to run, but it will be forced out of bounds by Aiden Devine.
Good save by Devine there. He broke down, and he got the guy out of bounds.
Yeah, and so far from what we've seen, Jancy's a runner that you can't really take lightly, and like you said, very smart by Aiden Devine there to get him out of bounds, really break down, not let him get around him. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 here for the Packer offense. Just under 10 minutes left in this first half. And the Packers still ahead 14-0. So we hear the money down from the Deacons sideline, as a timeout will be taken by the West Fargo offense. And once again, folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley's sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV, or follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV. And once again, folks, just keep those shout-out requests coming, and we'll definitely try to get them up on the stream for you. So both teams still in their huddles as West Fargo looks to be ready to come back out on the field. Coach Sarge still is talking up his defense. So both teams are ready to get back into play here.
I'm curious if the Packers are going to keep this one on the ground, or they got Barron caught against Gores again on that outside, so it's going to be fun to see where they go.
And Jancy will be under center for this play. Nelson alone in the backfield. And Jancy will run the option and take it for himself, but he will be stopped right away by the Deacon defensive line. Looks like Reese Rustad was assisted on that tackle. And that will, excuse me here. It looks like Reese Rustad will be credited with that tackle. And another shout out here from South Fargo, the Andersons and the Jaggers. Thank you for tuning in to Shanley TV. Always glad to hear people near Shanley tuning in. And another timeout will be taken by the West Fargo offense here. And it is 4th down and 4 here, so looks like West Fargo may be talking things over on whether to go for it or not.
Yeah, it looked like they were lined up in punt formation, but they got the momentum, and I think they could get this 4th down.
And it's not too dangerous a field position to go for, as it is kind of in that suspicious area, I guess you could say, where it's much too long for a field goal, but maybe a little too short for a punt, or if they can limit the distance on the punt. And it does look like they will line up to punt, and it will be Carson Dean back to receive for the Deacons.
See if Ortiz can work some of his magic again like he's been doing tonight.
Yeah, not the highest kicks, but he's been able to get a lot of power behind him and really get some nice line drives right through the return teams. Here's Ortiz with a nice punt. And the Deacons will let it drop and roll for a little bit. And it will be down just outside the 10-yard line for the Deacons. So a nice punt there by Casey Ortiz to pin the Deacons back kind of deep, as that will be from the 11-yard line, the Deacons' own 11-yard line. And so far, we haven't really seen Shanley be able to dig themselves out of these kind of holes they start in on offense, as we've seen them start deep in their own territory multiple times, and we haven't seen a lot of success with them marching the ball down the field in general, but especially when they're pinned deep in their own yardage.
Yeah, for sure. They get to the Packers 40, and it just looks like they quit. So they got to fix that to get a score.
So the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers on each side. It'll be Mattern joined by, looks like Aiden Devine in the backfield. Excuse me, that is Johnny Gores in the backfield, as Mattern will just tuck this ball and run it himself, trying to get to the outside a little bit, drops his shoulder, and he will pick up the 1st down for the Deacons. Nice run there by Cooper Mattern. And we see once again, as we touched on multiple times earlier, him just lowering his shoulder and looking for a little bit of contact in that play. Nothing wrong with a player who craves contact.
Especially your quarterback.
Especially your quarterback, when he's able to drop his shoulder like that and just put his weight behind him and run. So the Deacons will have 3 receivers split out right, as it will be Devine in the backfield. And Mattern will just take it from himself once again. Is met very soon. And only a short pickup on that play.
Not a bad play to run on 1st down. That QB run has been working for him, so why not try it again?
And especially after we saw that very successful first down QB run by Mattern, maybe had a little adrenaline, a little momentum going into that play. And Deacons will line up in the same formation, with Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield. Mattern just looks to pass. He looks for Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores will catch that, runs into his own player, and it looks like he loses the ball. And It looks like the pass will be completed. And the play must have been blown dead before the ball came out. Johnny Gores with a nice job of going up for that ball. So it will be first down and 10 from the Deacons' own 48-yard line. And they'll come out in the same formation with 3 receivers split out to the right. And Madden will be joined by Devine in the backfield. Madden will hand it off to Devine. Devine going up the middle. Gaining a little extra yardage than it looked like he would. And a nice medium gain there by Aiden Devine. Pick of 5 or 6. Another shout out to Sally and Rich Schaefer in Illinois. Forgot that there's a silent S on Illinois. And Joanne and Jim Colby from Yuma, Arizona. And grandparents in Winger, Minnesota saying, "Go Packers." So always good to hear some more Packers fans on the Twitter sphere, as there will be a flag on this play as Madden looks out to Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores will take it to the West Fargo Packers 45-yard line, but a flag is on the play, and it will be a false start on the Deacons offense. That's one thing that we've seen a lot this year from Shanley is we'll see them get these nice little gains, a nice pickup of 5 or 6 yards, close to a first down. Even we've seen it on a lot of touchdown runs where it'll be called back by just a little mistake like a false start or a holding or something like that. And that penalty will actually be declined. So it will bring up third down and roughly 4 yards.
This is where slowing down has to come into play. The Deacons got a big play right there by Johnny Gores. And next play, false start. So,
correction, it is third down and 3 for the Deacon offense. The Deacons now have 3 receivers out to the left, and Madden will just take this for himself, trying to push to the sticks there as he will gain the Deacon first down. Big play there by the Deacons as they avoided a 4th down situation, which they haven't been too successful with so far.
That Deacon player's running the ball. They're going to hit about 2 yards in, and they're just pushing it like 4 yards. So if they can keep doing that, I guess they could get a quick touchdown.
So it'll be first and 10 for the Deacons from the Packer 41-yard line. 3 receivers out to the left once again as Madden will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores there and still on his feet. Johnny Gores will be taken down within the 10-yard line. We'll bring up first and goal for the Deacons. And there we see John Gores really extending and reaching up for that pass. Able to haul it in and get some extra yardage after the catch. And it looks like there may have been a personal foul on the Packers defense. So just giving the Deacons a little extra yardage there. So it'll be first and goal from the West Fargo 3-yard line. Just over 6 minutes left in this second quarter. As the Deacons will have 3 out to the right once again as Madden just tucks it and runs it. Looks to be stopped shy of the end zone. Brings it to about the 1-yard line. Brings up second and goal for the Deacon offense. And it looks like the Deacons will run a no-huddle play here. As Madden will just take it again, trying to pound through. May have got it as the refs do signal for a Deacon touchdown. The score now 14-6. And we will see Emmett Kenny come onto the field, try to tack on the PAT, get the extra 1-pointer for the Deacons. So Emmett Kenny very efficient with the PATs this year. Snap is down. Kenny's kick is up. Appears to be good, and the official signal is good. Your score now: West Fargo Packers, Shanley Deacons 7, West Fargo Packers 14, Shanley Deacons 7, with just over 5.5 left in this first half.
That might be the spark for the Shanley Deacons, getting 1 score, and now we're just gonna have to watch the defense and see if they come out with that same mentality.
And it's big plays like that we saw with Johnny Gores that really get the motor running for teams on both offense and defense. But we'll see how they will respond after that touchdown. See if they can maybe get a little more pressure defensively. And as we see on the replay there, Mattern pushing forward to get into the end zone. Just another example there of Mattern's basically running back, running the ball, just tucking his shoulder down, tucking the ball, pounding forward for all extra yards he can gain.
That running back mentality he has is a good quality for him being a quarterback.
Yeah, and it's a nice, reliable play for the Shanley offense to just be able to go right back to the quarterback run, as it's been very successful this season. So the West Fargo Packers coming out to return for, I believe, the first time tonight. Yeah, this will be Emmett Kenny's first kickoff of the night. A common trend we see with Kenny is the ball going through the back of the end zone for a nice, easy touchback. We'll see if that trend continues tonight, as it looks like the wind might be a little factor as Hunter Hannison comes out to hold it for Emmett Kenny. And it will be, I believe, that is Carson Hagerly back to receive, along with Parker Nelson for the Packers. And Kenny's kick is up. Looks like he's got some good distance, and that will be Hagerly letting it roll back through the back of the end zone for a nice touchback.
A money hold by Hannison there and a money kick right through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that was quite the cash hold by Hunter Hannison, if I do say so myself. Another shout out here, watching from Castle Pines, Colorado. Payson Jancy's grandma and grandpa. Let's go Packers, indeed. Let's go Packers. Jancy's had a great game so far tonight, throwing the ball and running the ball. Great to hear support from all the way from Colorado. So it is now 1st and 10 for the Packers from their own 20-yard line, as the offense will take the field now. So the Packers come out with one receiver on each side. Jancy joined once again by Nelson in the backfield. Jancy will roll to his left, looks to pass. He looks deep for Hagerly, and Hagerly will not be able to come down with that, as there is a flag on the coverage by Carter Kochman. So as we see on the replay here, Carter Kochman did kind of come down on him and maybe block the ability to receive, as, yeah, we do see a little bit of a push there by Carter Kochman as he goes up for that.
Yeah, it's hard for Kochman there. He's got his back of his head to the ball, and that's where the sideline has to come into play. They got to talk to him, tell him the ball's coming, and then he can step away and just put his hands up.
And especially with someone as tall as Hagerly, who's 6'3", being able to go up a lot higher than Kochman for that ball. That is a very tough position for Kochman to be in on the defensive side.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have much time to turn around and go for that ball. You just got to put your hands up and hope he doesn't catch it.
So 1st and 10 now for the Packers, as Jancy will just drop back, rolls to his right, looks to pass, and that ball looks to be completed. That looks like Jaden Grefsrud. So the Packers are still shy of the first down here, as it will be 2nd and 2 from their own 43-yard line. Just over 5 minutes left in this half. And the Packers will come out with Jancy under center. Nelson alone in the backfield. And Jancy will just hand this off to Nelson. Nelson trying to get past a couple Deacons, but is wrapped up right away. Short gain of roughly 1 yard on that run. We'll bring up 3rd and short for the Packers. And so far, 3rd down and short hasn't been that much of an issue for the Packers, as they've had a really strong run game, except for that play just there. But so far, they've been able to run up the middle with ease, get through the Deacon defensive line for a nice gain of 4 or 5 yards.
Wouldn't be surprised if they hit Barroncott over there on that right side for a quick little out route.
So Jancy will just hand it right off to Nelson. Nelson exploding through that offensive and defensive line. Will pick up the 1st down for the Packers, no issue. Yeah, the Packers are starting to look kind of automatic on that on that just blast, HB blast right up the middle.
The tackle and the guards are doing their jobs perfectly. They got about a 6-foot hole, and their running back can just hit it full speed.
Yeah, and especially with someone who's got the power like Nelson, as we just saw on that play, just being able to, like I said, just blast right through that line. As Jancy will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for Hagerly. Hagerly will come down with the catch, it appears. And that will be a completed pass within the 30. Hagerly appears to be shaken up on the play. Looks like he may be able to get up here.
It's hard to control your body there when you're going so fast. So,
and one thing you got to respect about Hagerly is he really is a gritty football player, as we see there, just flying around on the field, having fun, going after the ball. That's always a player you love to watch. Not afraid to put their body on the line a little bit. Just pure grit. And it looks like Hagerly will be walked off the sideline. Hopefully we can see him return to action here in this game. He's been a very fun player to watch. So it will be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for the Packers. Packers line up with 2 receivers out to the left. Jancy joined once again by Nelson in the backfield. And Jancy will just drop back, looks to pass. Pocket collapsing a little bit, and Jancy will tuck it for himself. Tries to get to the outside a little bit and will run the ball out of bounds.
Jancy did a good job there. Saw that he had no guys. Shot through that hole, ran to the outside, and Hanson barely got there to push him out.
So that will bring up 2nd down for the Packers. It will be 2nd and 6. Another shout out here to Isaac Emneff's aunt, uncle, and little cousin Deacon watching the game from the Twin Cities. Thank you for tuning in. Another fun player to watch on the defensive side, Isaac Emneff. He's always one of those players that we just mentioned who's always flying around on the ball trying to make plays. As Jancy will hand this out to Nelson. Looks like there's a little miscommunication in the backfield. And Nelson will be taken down by Carter Kochman. A nice open field tackle there by Kochman. Able to wrap up and bring down the dangerous runner, Parker Nelson. Yeah, great job there by Kochman on that tackle. Able to drive back Nelson, wrap up around him, and get him straight to the ground. So it will be 3rd down and 6 now for the Packers at the 23-yard line of the Deacons.
With the Packers running game going so good, do you think they're going to throw this one up or keep it on the ground?
I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a little pass here. We've seen a lot of success with their air game so far in this drive, and they have 3 receivers split out to the right. As Jancy will drop back to pass, and he looks and will connect with Seth Nyhoff, and Nyhoff will take it into the end zone for the West Fargo touchdown. Your score now 20-7 in favor of the Packers. And there we see, like I said, them going to the run game. Nice little slant across the middle there by Nyhoff. Or excuse me, that was Carter Birkenhoff, my apologies. That was Bierenkopf on the reception and the touchdown. Nice play there to be patient, let the secondary get around him a little bit and corral that ball in for a nice walk into the end zone. And this will be Hagerly to tack on the extra point once again. That PAT will be up and through. Your score now, West Fargo 21, Shanley 7, with just under 2.5 left in this first half. And West Fargo will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Keep that in mind. So Shanley, it appears, they might be in a little bit of desperation mode here, down by 14. Almost, well, time winding down in the first half, and West Fargo receiving in the 3rd quarter. I wouldn't quite say the game's over if they don't score here, but it's definitely would be a great help to their overall game plan if they can put up, I mean, at least a field goal in at this time.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring out their no huddle right now because they got 2:30 left, and they just got to march down the field and get a score before halftime.
So the Deacon return team ready, as it will be Kochman and Dean back to receive once again. West Fargo breaking out their kickoff team right now. And another shout out. Let's go Carter, number 3, and Jade, number 13. Go Packers from their little cousin, JJ. Some more Packers support here. Always great to hear. glad to hear support from both sides of the ball. So it will be Casey Ortiz once again to kick off for the Packers. As Ortiz gets another nice line drive. This will be taken by Dean. Ball on the ground, picked up once again by Dean. Dean trying to find a little room, gets a little hole, and is able to bring the ball past the Deacons' own 30-yard line. So nice job there by Carson Dean to read that little zone for a little extra yardage. As we see there, nice hole, but it met right away and stopped right past the 30. So 1st and 10 from the Deacons' own 31-yard line. 2:22 left in the half. Shanley with 2 timeouts remaining. West Fargo with 0. And Deacons will come out with two receivers on each side. Madden joined by Devine in the backfield. He will fake the handoff to Devine. Pocket collapsing a little bit. Cooper has to scramble. He looks for Tyler Kraft, and that ball will be intercepted by Carter Bierenkopf. Bierenkopf just making plays lately. So that was a tough throw there by Mattern to have to make. Scrambling out to his right. Maybe not quite balanced.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, sorry.
We see on the replay there. Not completely set as he threw that ball.
Yeah, I kind of threw that ball up, crossed his fingers, and he was hoping it was going out of bounds because he had Ortiz on him, and he didn't really have any guys open downfield.
So definitely not what you're looking for if you're Shanley here, as you give the ball right back to West Fargo with just 2:15 left in the half, right before they receive the ball once again. So it is now 1st and 10 from the Packers' own 41-yard line. The Packers will come out with 3 receivers out to the right, or excuse me, 2 out to the right. As that'll be Nelson on the run, gets to the outside, finds some open space, and is taken down right around the 50-yard line. So Nelson with a little east and west running there, but it pays off for him. Is able to get to the outside really quick. Another shout out to Lucas Gietzen tuning in from Glen Ullin, cheering for Shanley. Thank you for tuning in. Some more Shanley support here after a trend of West Fargo. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So it is 2nd down and short, about 2nd and 1 for the Packers offense here.
What's one thing the Deacons can change on that outside? You can see like all the quarterback and the running back, they're getting the outside runs, they're getting those nice slants. You think line could improve or backfield or what?
I don't think it's necessarily the backfield. I mean, the backfield has been pretty strong. I mean, obviously you don't want to put any more stress on the line. They already have a lot, but I think the line is what really has to change. So Jancy under center now. And Nelson in the backfield. Might run just another HB blast here, as they will. Nelson trying to fight his way forward, but he will be stopped by a host of Deacons. Great job by the Deacon defensive line there to blow up that play early and not let Parker gain any momentum on his run. Bring up 3rd and 1 for the Packers now. It'll be interesting to see here if they do elect for another little HB blast there, or if Jancy will just tuck it for himself and try to gain the 1st down. But
yeah, I'm thinking they're going to keep it on the ground, just keep it safe. They're up by a bunch and just going to halftime winning.
So there are 2 receivers split out to the left as Jancy in the shotgun. Jancy rolls to his left, looks to pass, and he looks for Hagerly. Hagerly will catch it and will get out of bounds in Deacon territory. So it's good to see Carson Hagerly back into play for the Packers, as he makes a big play there to keep the drive alive for the Packers and get the ball into Deacon territory, up by 14 right before the end of the first half. Just 1:13 left in this first half. So the Packers looking to maybe slow things down a little bit, maybe just run some clock, as they will line up with 2 receivers out to the right. Another shout out to Chris Meyer and Holly Oshak. Sorry, I didn't see the pronunciation there. Younger sister of freshman football player Oshak. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, we greatly appreciate all the support that we are getting so far tonight. And if anyone else would like a shout out, just tweet us at Shanley TV and we'll try to get you on. That'll be Nelson with a nice run to the outside there. Now be 2nd and 3 for the Packers offense. And Jancy will be under center. Maybe just another, or there will be a flag. And it will be a false start on the Packers offense, so brings them back 5. Will now be 2nd and 8 with just 39.9 seconds left in this first half.
Before that flag there, they had Hagerly on the outside against Kolkman and no men in the back. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just throw one up and try to get another touchdown.
Yeah, Hagerly, like we were saying earlier, has been a big weapon for this Packers offense so far, and that's a good matchup with Carter Kolkman, who's a very physical player. Not the tallest like Hagerly, but always able to put a little pressure, as that ball will be incomplete. Multiple fans calling for a pass interference on that play. That ball may have been out of reach.
Yeah, it looks like Hagerly and Kolkman just got a little tripped up there when he was doing his out route. Carter just got under him, and I don't know. I wouldn't call that a penalty, but
yeah, it doesn't seem like there's enough evidence to quite call that a pass interference. So it'll be 3rd and 8 now for the Packers from the Shanley 42-yard line. Just 28.8 seconds left in this half. Jancy in the shotgun, joined by Nelson in the backfield, and Jancy will just drop back to pass, rolls out to his right, looks for Hagerly, or excuse me, I believe that'll be Bierenkott.
Great footwork by Bierenkott. Little toe toucher on the outside.
Yeah, almost looking like Julio Jones on that play, able to get both feet down.
Yes, sir.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Packers from the Deacon 25-yard line. Just 23 seconds left in this first half. And Jancy will be in the shotgun once again with one receiver on each side. And yeah, we see that matchup again of Carson Hagerly matched up against Carter Kolkman. As we touched on, Hagerly with his 6'3" frame, and Kolkman a little shorter, but definitely makes up with it with his physicality. So there's a stoppage in play here. Not quite sure if it looks like we might just have to readjust the game clock, as the referees are still working with our and the game clock is reset to 28 seconds instead of 2.8, giving the Packers a little more time here. It is 1st and 10 still. Packers with one receiver on each side, and Nelson behind Jancy in the backfield, as a flag will be thrown. The Deacons pointing to the West Fargo offensive line. And it will be a false start on the Packers offense once again, bringing it back to a 1st and 15 now from the Deacon 30-yard line.
See Kolkman out there again. Nobody out there.
Nice one-on-one matchup as Jancy drops back to pass. Has to scramble a little bit, looks to throw, running to his left, and he will connect with Bierenkott. Bierenkott's still on his feet. And Bierenkott with a nice gain, getting the ball out of bounds within the 10-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and goal for the Packers here with just 18 seconds left in the half. Potentially a do-or-die here situation for the Deacon defense, as they are in desperate need of a stop here. Especially since they are giving the ball to West Fargo to start the 3rd quarter. Yeah, nice job there by Bierenkott to maneuver his way around, gain a little extra yardage, and get it out of bounds. As this will go for a touchdown, as that will be Carson Hagerly. So Hagerly continuing to make plays for West Fargo here. Your score now, West Fargo 27, Shanley 7. So a huge play for the Packers going into halftime.
Jancy did a good job with that throw. He just tossed that one up. And Hagerly didn't even see it till it was like 10 feet away from him, so good catch by him too.
And Hagerly trying to complete the 7-point play for himself to tack on this PAT, and that will be through the uprights. So your score now, West Fargo Packers 28, Shanley Deacons 7, with just 14.1 remaining in this half before Shanley will kick it off to West Fargo to start the third quarter. So things definitely not looking too good if you're Shanley right now. However, things can change. Maybe if somehow they get a quick score up on the board here and are able to make a stop early in the third quarter and get the ball back, we can see the momentum shift greatly, but that all just comes down to how hard Shanley's going to play.
What do you think Shanley was thinking going into this game? Do you think they were like, oh, we got West Fargo, we're going to beat these guys, or they just looked over it?
I don't think they overlooked West Fargo, because I know going into the Red River game last week, I wouldn't say that they overlooked them, but maybe just underestimated a little bit as Red River came out and was able to make a lot of plays and able to kind of shock Shanley. And I don't think they underestimated West Fargo here at all, as this has been a historic program with a lot of success. So I think they expected going into a good game tonight, but clearly so far it's looking to be a blowout for West Fargo. So it will be Kochman and Dean back to receive. KC Ortiz with the kick. Nice job of keeping it in play, as that will be Johnny Gores on the return. Johnny Gores taken down, brought backwards a little bit. And Shanley will set up shop from, it looks like, their own 27-yard line. So a long way to go here for Shanley if they're going to want to put points up before half. Just 10 seconds left in this first half, second quarter. And I wouldn't be surprised if Shanley tries to air it out a little bit here, because you don't really have much to lose at this point, and you are just trying to get deep down the field. As Madden will look to pass, and they will throw a little shovel pass to Aiden Devine. Devine with a nice run, taken down just shy of the first, and a timeout will be taken by the Deacon offense. Another shout out to Carter Robertstall, first grader from Trinity, is tuning in to watch. To watch favorite player, Carter Kochman. Carter Kochman, definitely probably a favorite amongst a lot of people. But thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. We thank you for your support. So Shanley with only 5 seconds flat left in this first half, trying to make something happen here, as they are down by 3 scores.
I'm wondering if they're going to pull a trick play out of the books for the last 5 seconds.
I was just thinking the same thing, Adam. I mean, not a whole lot has been very successful looking at different aspects of their offense for the Deacons so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they just try a little something to trick the West Fargo defense.
Yeah, for sure. You usually see about 1 or 2 of them out of them each game, so it'll be interesting what they have in the books right now.
And that might be the case, as the Deacons will remain in the huddle for a little bit here. And the offense will come back out on the field. And the Deacons will line up with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and Madden joined by Devine in the backfield, as Madden will just look to pass. And he looks for Kochman. Kochman with a nice reception. And it looks like he's able to get out of bounds right before the end of this quarter. Just half a second left on the clock. Yeah, nice little route there by Kochman. Nice way to pick up the first down there, get out of bounds, have a little bit time left just for one more play before this half ends. And Shanley will take their last timeout here right before this last play of the first half. And it looks like Shanley may be trying a deep play here, as we see Madden kind of pointing out towards the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like we got the lineman coach out there too, getting them fired up, making sure they hold their blocks.
So the Shanley offense will take the line here. And they will line up with 3 receivers split out to the right and 1 to the left. Madden once again joined by Devine in the backfield. So just time for one more play here, as Mattern will take the snap, and it looks like they're just going for a deep pass. Mattern just throws it up to a host of 3 Deacons, and that will be intercepted by Carson Hagerly, it appears. Somehow, it looks like Carter Colkin may have came out with it, but regardless, that will end the first half for the Deacons here. And during this halftime, we will be recognizing the Shanley homecoming court, so we will be right back after that.
Please direct your attention to the playing field. At this time, we are proud to present our homecoming court for 2020. There is a selection criteria to be included in the homecoming court, which candidates best represent Shanley High School and its tradition of excellence, which are true Deacons in the mindset of service and self-giving, which treat others with kindness, compassion, and respect. Keeping those characteristics in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Homecoming Court for Shanley High School. Azure Reese, daughter of Jerry and Sharon, escorted by Andrew Simon, son of Eugene and Sherry. Brooklyn Kelsch, daughter of Jason and Tracy, escorted by Benjamin Osley, son of Daniel and Lisa. Tori Ulmer, daughter of Jeremy and Tasha, escorted by Carter Cookman, son of Paul and Nancy. Abby Leininger, daughter of Curtis and Cynthia, escorted by Emmett Kenny, son of Emmett and Diane. Your 2020 homecoming queen, Megan Matheson, daughter of Brian and Jenny, escorted by 2020 homecoming king, Braden DeKaiser, son of Sean and Lori. This evening, our queen and king are represented by Mia Kruger and Dylan Erholtz. Ladies and gentlemen, your Shanley homecoming court for 2020.
Welcome back to this broadcast of Shanley TV. Thank you for your patience. And going into this second half, I have a couple quick shout-outs here. First shout-out to my own Uncle Chris. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you looking out for me, and thank you for the compliment on the jersey. And another quick shout-out to our own homecoming king, Braden DeKaiser. Unfortunately, has to stay home for quarantining, but thank you, Braden, for tuning in. We always appreciate it, especially from a superstar athlete, talk of the town, homecoming king like you.
Yeah, congratulations, Braden, and I hope I see you soon.
We all hope we see you soon, bud. So Emmett Kenny getting ready to kick off here. Only the second time he's kicked off the whole night. First one did go for a touchback. As per the common trend so far this season, we'll see if he continues that.
No need for Hunter Hannison. No more money holds, but Kenny's going to try to boot this one through the end zone.
Yeah, Hunter may be looking a little confused. Not sure what to do besides holding the ball, but he gets out there. And Kenny's kick is up. And the ball will be lost. I believe that is Parker Nelson, who was attempting to return it, lost it, but picks it right back up and gets right back on the grind with it as he gets that past the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Kenny got on top of that one a little. Had some bad movement on that ball. Parker Nelson had a little trouble picking that one up, but he made it to the 19 about, so not bad for a return.
And it's kind of interesting watching Parker Nelson run, as he really likes to use the east-west running, which isn't really common amongst most running backs, but he seems to be getting a lot of success with it so far, as he's able to get to the corners of the line really fast and able to find space to run.
For sure, yeah. He's got the speed, and he's got the blockers to do that.
So it is 1st and 10 from the Packers' own 19-yard line. They will line up with two receivers split out to the left. That'll be Jancy joined by Nelson in the backfield. A flag is thrown before the play can take place. It looks like they're pointing at Shanley. That'll be encroachment on the Deacons. So will now be 1st and 5 for the Packer offense. Not the best start to this half if you're the Deacons. Down by 3 scores and coming out with a penalty like that. Nothing too damaging for the Deacons, however, but just not quite good for the momentum or the overall team morale. So 1st and 5 now for the Packers, as Jancy will fake the handoff and take it for himself. Doesn't look like he gains much on that play. 1, maybe 2 yards on the pickup. So we'll be second and 3 now for the Packers.
The Deacons are getting pretty lucky here, playing some man coverage when the Packers are running the ball. They're good on that, but when they decide to throw it, they don't have anybody in the backfield, and their good receivers can catch those.
So 2nd and 3 now, Jancy under center. And he will give the handoff to Nelson. Nelson trying to power forward, not quite down. Now he is taken down. And looks like he may be just shy of the 1st down here. We'll see if they do give it him for the 1st down. And they will give him the 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Packers now from their own 29-yard line. As the Packers will come out similar formation from what we've seen earlier. 1 receiver on each side. And Nelson behind Jancy in the backfield. Jancy will just drop back to pass. And he looks for, I believe that is Bierenkott. And Bierenkott will make the reception. Or excuse me, that will fall incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, unable to get that ball quite in.
Packers are trying to use his height advantage over Johnny Gores out there on the right side. And it's helped them in the past get the ball upfield, but Johnny Gores uses his speed, and he swatted that ball away from him.
Yeah, Johnny Gores is similar to Carter Kochman in that he's not the tallest player, but he definitely makes up with it for his physicality and always flying to the ball trying to make plays, as Jancy will run the option here. And it looks like he will just tuck it away and run it out of bounds. There's not a lot developed, and a flag is thrown on the play.
We've seen that option a lot tonight by the Packers, and it seems to be working. But if the Deacons can get a hold of that and force them to pass it, I think they could get a good stop.
And there will be a holding penalty against the Packers here. So good news if you're a Deacon fan right now, and if you're the Deacons on the field, as you're finally gaining a little bit of momentum.
That's the one thing with running an option. You just tends to happen. You get a hold there because you can't really see your quarterback and your running back in the backfield, and you just expect that guy's going to go for them and try to hit them.
So it is 2nd and 20 now for the Packers. And the Packers will line up with 2 to the right as Jancy will just fake the handoff and rolls out to his right. And he looks for, that will be Hagerly on the attempted catch, but that will fall incomplete. Yeah, just pass a little bit short of Hagerly on that play.
Great job by the Deacon defenders, the defensive line actually, getting to the quarterback and forcing him to make that bad throw.
So it will be 3rd and very long for the Packers, 3rd and 24. And the Packers will line up with 1 receiver on both sides, as Jancy will be joined by Nelson in the backfield. And Jancy will fake the handoff to Nelson. He looks to pass. He looks for Hagerly. That ball will be picked off by, it looks Isaac Emeneth. Emeneth trying to get this way down the field, and he will take it inside the 10-yard line. A huge play for the Shanley Deacons.
Good job by the Deacon defense running that zone on the outside. They had Kolkman pressuring Hagerly, and he runs that little wheel route, and that quarterback just throws that one up, and Emeneth can get that one and almost take it to the house.
Yeah, great job there by Emeneth of kind of jumping that route and getting the ball within the 10-yard line for the Deacons. Setting up 1st and goal for the Shanley offense from the 7-yard line. Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield as 2 receivers are split out to the left. Mattern will just take the direct snap and take it for himself. And that will be a short gain. Brings the ball to about the 5-yard line, 5.5.
The QB run is working in these short little, occasions right here, but that far side of the end zone is just clear over wherever Kolkman is, and outside run wouldn't be bad if the lineman can close that outside tight end off.
Yeah, and maybe if you could get one out to Aiden Devine here, he's able to quick get to the outsides as they will just hand it off to Devine up the middle, and he will be met right away with some power. As looks Devine may have been lifted off his feet a little bit. Yeah, he was taken down.
Valstad did a good job just timing that hit and just going full speed into the hole and lighting up Devine.
Yeah, and that's a good wrap-up way to bring him down to the turf, stop him from, as we've seen Devine earlier, be able to break out of tackles.
There was a lot of power behind that hit.
So Deacons with a much more closed together formation as they'll give the jet to Johnny. Johnny trying to get to the outside. Johnny Gores will get into the end zone for the Deacon touchdown. A huge play for the Deacons. Your score now 28-13 with just over 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, as Emmett Kenny will come on to try and tack on the PAT and make it only a 2-score game.
Deacons did a perfect job on the outside. Hannison got that backer tried to blitz, and the cornerback was held and pushed to the sideline. That made a great hole for Johnny.
And the hold is down, and Kenny's kick will be up, and straight cheddar right through the uprights. Your score now, West Fargo 28, Shanley 14. So, Adam, we're kind of seeing a little bit of life here as Shanley, with that big pick by Isaac Emeneth and that nice run by Johnny Gores. Do you think this will translate to defense now and then keep up for the rest of the game?
I think it's a spark, but they're going to have to they got to work harder, focus, and just do what they do, make plays.
Yeah, that was a great way of putting that. Just a little spark. Not quite on fire yet, but they made some plays here that might get the fire burning for the Shanley defense right now, and then maybe even the offense later once they get the ball back. But yeah, great job by the Deacons there to really get the ball down the field. Well, it definitely helped with Isaac Emeneth's interception taking it within the 10-yard line, but Great success with the run game for the Deacons on that short little 3-play drive.
Can't forget about the Packers, though. I bet they're just heated right now after that score, and I'm sure they're just going to try to pound one in.
So it will once again be Hagerly and Nelson back to return for the Packers, as Emmett Kenny will look to kick this one away. Hunter Hannison still not needed to hold the ball down for Kenny. So we'll see if Kenny can boot this one back through the back of the end zone, and it looks like Hunter Hannison may need to come on and hold it as that ball is knocked over by the wind. And so Hunter will hold the ball down for Emmett Kenny. Pretty nice hold so far. And a good hold for Hannison and a nice kick for Kenny, as that will be Hagerly letting the ball roll through the back of the end zone for another touchback for Kenny. So now the Packers will set up shop from their own 20-yard line. Just over 9 minutes left in the third quarter here. Yeah, if you're West Fargo now, you're definitely going to, obviously you're going to want to score, but you're really going to want to maybe try to send a message with a couple big plays here to show Shanley that this game, the momentum hasn't quite shifted yet, and West Fargo can still make plays and just run the ball all over the field.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to pull a couple more plays out of the book, because I've really seen just a couple of runs, same runs, QB sneaks, and just short little slants, not really any deep balls.
And this will be Nelson on the carry, taken to the outside once again, trying to get upfield for a nice short little gain, 3, maybe 4. Yeah, there we see that east and west running again by Nelson. And it's once again, it seems to pay off for him as he's able to get out to that edge really quick and get a little bit upfield for a short gain. Yeah, a lot of times when you see players running east and west in the backfield, that's when they lose a lot of yardage. But as previously stated, Nelson seems to be pretty successful with that east and west running. So it'll be Jancy under center now. Nelson once again in the backfield. As Jancy will just hand it off, another HP blast to Nelson. Nelson will be met right away by the Deacon defensive line. Looks like maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on that play. Bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Packers, as they are at their own 25-yard line. So I'd say this is a big play for the Deacons here, because we haven't seen the Packers, I don't believe we've seen them go for it on 4th down so far. So if Shanley can make a stop here and get the ball back, maybe with some good field position and march down the field for a score, I think they could very much be back in this game. As Jancy will look to pass, and he will connect with Hagerly. Hagerly will get it up the field, stays in bounds. Incorrect, he will go out of bounds right before their own 40-yard line. Looks like Hagerly was about to break one off for a touchdown there, but it looks like he does get pushed out just a little bit.
It's hard for those corners for the Deacons to talk that out when they're going at such high speeds. Grefstroot and Hagerly, they did a little cross route, and they got Hagerly on the outside, and Kochman and Emineth got a little mixed up.
So it is 1st and 10 from the Packers' own 39-yard line. Packers will line up with 3 receivers out to the right. And Jancy joined once again by Nelson as a flag is thrown. Looks like they're pointing at the Packers' offensive line here.
Yeah, it looks like the tight end, Grefstroot, was lined up offsides right there.
And it looks like that will be an offside or neutral zone penalty by the offensive line for the Packers. And another shout out here to Jordan Barch. Thank you for tuning in to Shanley TV. We greatly appreciate it. And once again, folks, if anyone else would like a shout out, just tweet us at Shanley TV, and we'll try to mention your name in the broadcast. So it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Packers at their own 34-yard line now. Once again, they line up with 3 receivers split out to the right, as Jancy will run the option and take it for himself. Stays on his feet and actually tosses it out to Nelson. Nelson trying to get upfield. Nelson with a little bit of space. And Nelson with a nice push there as he's able to get to the ball roughly to about the 45-yard line. Interesting play there by Jancy. Nice heads-up play to see that Nelson's still out there with no one around him, so he's able to give him a quick little pitch as he's able to run that one right up the field.
The Deacons are getting killed on that outside run. Do you think they could change anything on their defense?
I was just going to say, I don't know if there's anything they can necessarily change with any schemes or anything, but they definitely just got to get out and recognize that outside corner is, like you said, Nelson's just been tearing it up over there. And Jancy will hand it off once again to Nelson. Nelson with a short gain, if any. I'll bring up 3rd down for the Packers. Looks like it'll be about 3rd and 4. So another big 3rd down here.
Inside defensive line for this Deacon team is doing a great job keeping the ball inside when it's going inside and forcing it out to their corners when it's going out.
Yeah, lately we haven't seen a lot of success with West Fargo running the ball right up the middle, but yeah, I think that can be credited to the Deacons' defensive line, as this ball will be handed off to Nelson, and Nelson will pick up the 1st down for the Packers, able to push the pile a little bit across midfield.
Outside linebackers and the DNs are struggling for the Deacons too. A lot of these runs are going straight at them, and they're getting just capped on the outside, or they're getting pushed out.
Yeah, especially with that runner, like we mentioned earlier, Nelson, who's very dangerous once he gets to the outside. Those outside linebackers and even corners are really going to have to step up and be able to apply more pressure and not give him so much space to run. So 1st and 10 now from the Deacons' 47-yard line for the Packers. Just over 6 minutes left in this 3rd quarter, as Jancy will be under center. Will hand it off, another HP blast to Parker Nelson. Nelson dragging a Deacon defender with him for a gain of 4, maybe 5 on that play. Yeah, great job of continuing the run there by Parker Nelson. Even when he's almost completely wrapped up, he's still got his legs moving and gaining a little yardage going forward. So 2nd and 6 now for the Packers. We'll see if they stick with that so far dangerous run game on this drive, as they will line up with 2 receivers split out to the right, and it will be Jancy joined by Nelson in the backfield. And another flag is thrown, and may have been a signal for encroachment, I may have seen. Or it looks like they will call this against West Fargo. It looks like the West Fargo Packers offensive line did line up offsides once again. So that will bring up 2nd and 11 for the Packers now, as they will be from the Deacons' 48-yard line. Just under 5.5 left in this quarter as the clock does continue to run. West Fargo still ahead 28-14 over the Shanley Deacons. So same formation for the Packers, as that will be Jancy just dropping back to pass, escaping a little bit of pressure, staying behind the line as that ball will be thrown out of bounds, thrown in the general area of, looks like Jaden Grefsrud.
Good job by that defensive coordinator for the Deacons, realizing before the penalty that they were lining up for a pass, and they had man coverage, and they switched it over to cover 2 to help the Deacons defend in the zone.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 11 for the Packers offense now. The Deacons sideline getting a little rowdy with the money down. Another big 3rd down conversion here for the Packers, as this could give the Deacons a little bit of momentum if they do make the stop here. And I don't really see West Fargo going for it if it is 4th down and 11, as Jancy drops back to pass. And that ball will connect with Carter Bierencott. A flag is thrown. There was a little bit of contact before that ball was caught.
Yeah, it looks like Carter Copeman got his hands on Bierencott right there, and you just can't do that. You'll get a flag.
As we see the replay here. Yeah, it looks like Copeman did push him a little bit there. So that will go against Carter Copeman of the Deacons. That penalty will be declined, and it will be 1st and down for the Packers from the Deacons. It looks 17-yard line. So the Packers lining up with 3 receivers to the right, and that'll be Jancy under center. He will hand it off to Parker Nelson. Nelson getting a nice hole up the middle, as Nelson is able to push for a nice little gain there. Looks like he will be just shy of the first down. It will be 2nd down and 2 for the Packers now. So the Packers putting a lot more pressure on the Deacons now, as it's only 2nd down and 2 from the, I believe it's the Deacons' own 9-yard line. And just a little over 4 minutes left in this third quarter here, as the Packers will line up in the same formation with 3 receivers split out to the right, Jancy under center, and Parker Nelson in the backfield. And Jancy will just hand this off to Parker Nelson. Nelson will be met right away.
Good job by the Deacons sending their 2 middle linebackers in to blow up that play.
And that was a good play there by the Deacon defense to kind of, as they see Parker Nelson still on his feet, you see them kind of try to rip away the ball there before it is over, but not quite able to get it out. But regardless, good effort by the Deacons defense. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Packers, still at the 9-yard line of the Deacons. As we see Peyton Jancy coming in with the play. And the Packers will line up in that same formation with 3 split out to the right, Jancy under center, and Parker Nelson alone in the backfield. And there will be a flag thrown, as it looked like Jancy was going for a little bit of a QB sneak there. We'll see. It will be on the Packers offense once again. And I didn't see if they just lined up offside or lined up over the neutral zone, or if they jumped off on the line of scrimmage. I'm not quite sure. But regardless, West Fargo will be knocked back 5 yards, bringing up 3rd and 7. Now just over 3 minutes left in this third quarter. West Fargo, we haven't really talked about this, but West Fargo has been doing a great job of wasting time this quarter, as Shanley's only had the ball for a little bit, but West Fargo's been able to waste a lot of time, as this will be caught by Carson Hagerly. Hagerly running all over the field, making a couple moves, making one man miss. And it looks like, not quite sure how much he gained on that play, as he was running east and west a lot. Looked like he must have been backed up a little bit. Will bring up 4th down. Looks like it'll be about 4th and 10. So it looks like Peyton Jancy will stay on the field. It doesn't look like the Packers will try to kick a field goal.
Yeah, in that shotgun formation, and they got Barroncott and Hagerly on the outside, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a shot up to the end zone here, as Jancy will look to the right, as he will try to connect with Carter Barroncott.
What a catch.
And they're saying that is complete. Maybe there's a little bit, they will call it incomplete, as there was a little bit of discussion there by the referees. A lot of the West Fargo players signaling for a catch, as that will be a turnover on downs for the West Fargo offense. And unfortunately, the referees are unable to review that, as it is high school football, but that looked like a heck of a play in the corner of the end zone by Barroncott.
Deacon defense looking a little upset when they're walking off the field, but I guess it's a turnover. Might not be like the best one, but
yeah, if you're the Deacons, you're definitely going to want to run a play quick here. Well, I guess they can't review it, so it doesn't really matter, but as they will send Aiden Devine in motion. Devine will get the jet sweep to the left. Devine getting upfield, getting past 2 defenders, and finally being brought down past the 25-yard line. As it looks like he will still be just shy of the first down. Or no, excuse me, he will pick up the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Deacons' own 27-yard line, as they come out with a no huddle. And Kochman will be on the reception here. Nice quick little screen out by Mattern. Or excuse me, that will be Carson Dean on the reception, not Carter Kochman. And the Deacons staying with no huddle, as they have 2 receivers split out to the right, and Mattern is joined by Devine in the backfield. Little confusion with formation, but Mattern gets it corralled, as he will throw a quick little screen out to Aiden Devine. Devine once again powering up towards the sticks there, as it looks like he will pick up the first down for the Deacons. So 1st and 10 for the Deacons from their own 39-yard line.
O-line's finally figuring it out. We can run no huddle, get some nice bubbles and good runs.
And Deacons line up with 2 receivers as Mattern will look to pass. He looks for Carson Dean. Carson Dean had a lot of space around him, but just unable to make the connection with Mattern. Looks like Dean may have turned his head the wrong way on that route. Or may have been a little miscommunication between Mattern and Dean. But it will be 2nd and 10 once again from the Deacons' own 39-yard line. Deacons line up with 3 receivers out to the left. Mattern joined once again by Devine in the backfield. And Mattern will throw out a little screen to Devine. Devine's trying to get upfield, but will be brought down by the legs. A smart play by the West Fargo defense to wrap him up by the legs. Bring up 3rd down, and it looks like 7 for the Deacon offense, excuse me.
Packers in a pass. Oh, sorry.
Okay, just under 2 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. As we'll see Devine get the screen once again. Will be taken down, and there will be a flag thrown. We'll see. That will go against the Deacons. And I believe the call will be a chop block on the Deacons offensive line.
With the Deacons bringing out that no huddle formation, you can see the Packers are bringing out their pass-heavy defense. They're trying to figure out what protection they can play and if their line's going to be able to get the job done.
So that's a killer for the Shanley's offense. Here, as that will be a 15-yard penalty off the chop block, bringing up 3rd and 22. As the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers on each side, and Mattern once again with Devine in the backfield. It will not send anyone in motion, as Mattern will just drop back to pass. They'll throw a little shovel pass to Aiden Devine. Devine stays on his feet and gets met once again with a little bit of power as he brings it just across the 30-yard line. Bring up 4th and very long for the Deacons. So looks like Mattern still out on the field. Wouldn't be surprised if they go with that little quarterback punt that we've seen so much so far. And Mattern will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for John Gores. John Gores looks like he will hang on to it. And that will be a 1st down for the Deacons. A huge conversion late in this 3rd quarter. And there we see John Gores going up once again. Good job of maintaining possession all the way to the ground. So just 50 seconds and counting left in this quarter as Mattern will have the pocket collapse around him. Tries to run a little bit, but will be taken down. Looks about right at the line of scrimmage. The Deacons continuing with this no-huddle offense as time winds down in this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Deacons from the West Fargo 49-yard line. Mattern looks for a quick pass to Tyler Kraft. Kraft will hang on to it and will be brought down at about the 44-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 4 yards for the Deacons. They stay in the no huddle, just 17 seconds on this quarter as Mattern will take it for himself, gets around a couple defenders, and is able to pick up the 1st down for the Deacons.
Good vision by Mattern there, seeing the left side wide open. Just takes up all himself and gets the 1st down.
And the clock will continue as the chains are set now. Try to run off one more play before the end of the quarter here. And there is a flag on the play on the far side of the field.
Looks like the Packers coach is a little upset.
And we see some of the line judges pointing towards West Fargo side of the ball. That will go against the West Fargo Packers. So it is 1st and 5 now for the Deacons, as it looks like they will get one last playoff for the end of the quarter, as it looks like Mattern was trying to connect with Devine there, but not quite on target, as that will bring up the 4th quarter in a very exciting game now. Shanley with the ball in about mid-range of the Packers' own territory, down by 2 scores. So Adam, do you think that the Deacons can keep this little bit of momentum that we've seen them have on this drive particularly?
I think they're going to keep the momentum, and I think they'll get a score right here. And they have a good kicker, Emmett Kenny, and he has a mean squib kick, or a little pooch punt over, or kick over there. And I don't know, it's been working on a bunch of teams, and it's hard to defend because you have your bigger guys up front on the line, and their hands aren't as good. And if you have quick guys on the outside, they could get to the ball, and the Deacons could have the ball again.
Yeah, and just another thing to say for Emmett Kenny, we're getting more into his kind of field goal range here, so it's kind of a good bit of security for the Deacons to know that if they are unable to come up with a touchdown, then Emmett Kenny should be able to come on and just tack on a 3, get some points on the board for the Deacons early in this fourth quarter.
Hopefully the Deacons don't need that field goal. Hopefully they can just bury one into the end zone, but that's always something to fall back on.
So the Deacons look like they are ready to snap the ball soon here. Or it looks like they not quite ready to snap the ball here, as it will be 1st and 5 from West Fargo's 33-yard line. West Fargo once again leading Shanley 28-14 as we start this fourth quarter. We see the 4s still being held up by the Deacons sideline. It looks like Coach Mattern may need to readjust some things as he brings out Cooper and the rest of the huddle. And just another quick reminder, folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that is Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching Shanley TV. And that will be Carter Kochman on the carry. And it will be met right away, as it will now be 3rd down and 6 for the Deacons offense, as they'll send Johnny Gores in motion. They'll run a little bit of a reverse. Johnny Gores giving it back to Carter Kochman. Kochman trying to find some open field, but will not find any, and will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage a little bit. Brings up 4th down for the Deacons. And a nice job there by Kochman to corral that ball and kind of tip it into himself with one hand. So it is now 4th and 6 for the Deacons. They're at the 34-yard line of the Packers. The Deacons lining up with, it appears to be 3 receivers out to the right. Mattern drops back to pass. A little pressure around him. He looks to throw. And he will, looks like he will connect with, I believe that is Carson Dean. Nice catch there by Carson Dean to almost Julio Jones-esque once again to get the feet down and get out of bounds.
Same spot as Barroncott caught it.
Maybe perhaps a little lucky point on the sidelines there for receivers as he'll look for Dean once again. Dean will make the catch, and Dean will get into the end zone for a Deacon touchdown. A huge score for the Deacons here early in the fourth quarter.
Good throw by Cooper Mattern over to Dean. Barroncott barely misses him. Could have saved his team from a score right there.
And that pass looked very similar to the one right before where Mattern was able to get it over a defender and right into the breadbasket of Dean. So Emmett Kenny coming on, try to tack on the PAT, make it a 7-point game. The hold looks good by Mattern. The kick is up and through the uprights. Your score now, West Fargo Packers 28, Shanley Deacons 21. And Adam, so far it looks like we've been pretty on par with some of our predictions saying that Shanley will maintain this momentum as we see them march down the field pretty quickly with a couple nice passes to Carson Dean and eventually for the score, making this only a 1-score game. West Fargo only leading by 7 now.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what the Deacons are going to do right here. If they're just going to have Kenny kick a touchback or a nice pooch over to about the 40-yard line.
And if West Fargo does get the ball, it'll be interesting to see because in the third quarter, they did a great job of winding down the clock, maintaining possession for the majority of the third quarter and wasting a lot of time while doing it. So that could be a huge component here if they're able to waste a lot of time and give Shanley the ball back maybe in bad field position or with not a lot of time left.
Yeah, definitely. They're running that ball until about third down, and then they're getting these big passes to about Barincott and Hagerly, and then they just keep doing that again and again. They're just getting those good time rundowns.
So Emmett Kenny getting ready to kick the ball off here, and yeah, we'll see if he does do that little pooch that you mentioned earlier, if he just tries to get a touchback. Pin the Packers a little deep in their own territory. And doesn't look like Hunter Hannison's services are needed in terms of holding the ball. As Emmett Kenny gets ready to kick this one away. His kick is up, and it looks like they will just go for a classic kickoff, as that will be returned by Hagerly. Hagerly kind of getting it to the outside, getting past a couple men, getting upfield, getting in open space. And it looks like Hagerly will return this one to the house. So a very, very quick answer for the West Fargo Packers, as it looked like Shanley had a little bit of momentum, only being down 7. That looks like those hopes may have been taken away pretty quick by that kick return touchdown. And Hagerly's name just continues to pop up in this game as he continues to make huge plays for the Packers when they really need it.
A good high kick from Kenny, giving the kickoff team to get down there to Hagerly, and they just can't break down and tackle, and he just uses footwork and speed to get around them and score a touchdown.
Yeah, and it looks like that may have been, unofficially, looks like it was about a 94-yard return. And Hagerly will stay on to try to tack on the PAT. And there will be a stoppage and play here as a flag is thrown. And there will be a false start on the Packers offense, yet another false start. So we'll back things up a little bit for Hagerly. And we'll see if this plays a factor in this little PAT attempt here. So now from the 15-yard line, Hagerly's kick is up. Doesn't look like it has any issues, and that will go through the uprights. Your score now, West Fargo Packers 35, Shanley Deacons 21. And looks like right after we said it, Adam, things kind of eating our words now as the tables seem to have shifted a little bit.
Yeah, that's the one thing with kickoff. It's just if one guy messes up and you guys are all following him, it's just hard to bounce back because the guy already gets a head start down the field and you're just bad positioning.
So a nice, very, very fast response there by the Packers. Shanley definitely only with 10.5 minutes left, needing to put up 2 scores, would definitely be the ideal situation for them, just to march it down the field quick, get some good run plays, maybe some pass plays for some good yardage. We'll see if that little momentum from the kick return there will translate to West Fargo's defense. Shanley looking pretty successful so far this half against West Fargo's defense. Able to gain a lot more yardage and make more plays to get downfield. And this will be Casey Ortiz once again to kick it off. So he gets a nice line drive with some good distance. As that will roll back for, once again, another touchback for Casey Ortiz. So Shanley will set up shop from their own 20-yard line now.
They're going to have to break out that no huddle again. They don't have much time to march down the field.
Yeah, and they were looking pretty efficient with that towards the end of the second half, and I believe we saw it a little bit in the third quarter. But that no-huddle offense seems to be working pretty well for the Deacons. And that's one thing that Coach Mattern likes to talk about a lot is, getting that momentum and getting that energy to, just fly around on the field and be able to make plays.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy for the offense and the defense, so hopefully these players are ready for the last 10 minutes.
So Mattern will be alone in the backfield, 3 to the right and 2 to the left in terms of receivers, and he will make a quick pass to Tyler Kraft there, as Kraft will get it. He will make the completion and get it past the sticks for the first down. And the Deacons will stay with no huddle, as we mentioned earlier. Same formation as the last play. Mattern looks to pass. He looks for a little dump off, too. I believe that is Carson Dean. Dean getting outside a bit for a nice gain. And we'll see if... that is John Gores on the reception. And it looks like it will be Unsure if it is 1st and 10 or 2nd and 9, but regardless, Madden will look to pass. And he will look for Johnny Gores, but that pass will be intercepted. That'll be Seth Nyhoff on the interception. Another killer for Shanley here. As it seems in this 4th quarter, the table has just turned completely as everything is going in West Fargo's favor right now. As we see on this replay, looks like Johnny Gores is overthrown a little bit, and that'll be Seth Nyhoff once again, who is able to come in and make that interception. But there will be a flag on the play here, will be on West Fargo. The Packers will retain possession, however. Another shout out here to Kimmy Head. Thank you for tuning into Shanley TV. Shout out's been a little bit less this half compared to the first half, but we're still happy regardless to hear all the shout outs coming across the board. So once again, as I said earlier, the Packers will retain possession here even after that penalty. Just under 10 minutes left here in the game. And with a 2-touchdown lead, things might not be looking too good here for Shanley if West Fargo is able to march down the field and put up some more points on the board, make it a 3-score game. As this will be handed off to Nelson, the workhorse tonight. Nelson once again trying to get to the outside there. Short gain, 2, maybe 3 yards on the play.
Packers are keeping it on the ground here in the 4th quarter. They got about 9 minutes left, and they're just trying to run down the time. They got the lead by a couple touchdowns, and they just can't risk throwing an interception.
Yeah, and going back to the running down time, I wouldn't be surprised if West Fargo would be able to waste almost the rest of this game away, as in the 3rd quarter they were able to waste, I think it was roughly 7 to 9 minutes, something around there. But yeah, they were very good at moving the ball down the field while wasting a lot of time doing it. As we'll see Jancy rolling out to his right, looking to pass, looking for Bierencott. Bierencott will not be able to make the catch. A little bit of contact on that play. Sounds like some of the fans may have wanted a flag, but no flag will be thrown on the play.
Gores and Bierencott doing a good job keeping their hands off of each other and just playing football.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of mutual contact there, but nothing that would warrant a flag for either player. As that, as that incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Packers, as they are on their own 35-yard line. So 3rd and 8 now. Packers with 2 receivers out to the left, and Jancy is joined once again by Nelson in the backfield. And Jancy will just drop back looking to pass. And he will connect with Nelson. Nelson once again trying to get the outside. A flag is thrown. It looks like Nelson will pick up the 1st down for the Packers, but we will see what the call on the field is after this flag.
Deacons defensive coordinator realizes that the Packers are lined up in a shotgun formation, and he throws all of his linebackers in for the blitz, and that gives them the opportunity for that little screen pass.
And it looks like the ref may signal for a block in the back here. Or, excuse me, the flag will actually be picked up, so there will be no foul on the play. As it looked like the head referee there was getting ready to signal for a block in the back, but one of the linesmen consults with him and convinces him to pick up the flag. Yeah, we see that on Carter Bierencott kind of laying his hands off there towards the end of it. So it will stay 3rd and 8 for the Packers. Or excuse me, 1st and 10 for the Packers, sorry. So that'll be Jancy under center now. Nelson in the backfield. 2 receivers out to the left for the Packers. As Jancy will just run the HB blast to Nelson. Nelson once again getting to the outside, but being able to gain yardage out of it as he'll pick up the 1st down. I believe another flag is on the field. Yes, it is. So we'll see what this call is. And we'll see what the official signal here is. And that will be holding against the Packers. So that will not be a 1st down. And that will make it, I believe, 1st and 20 now. And another shout out here to Grandma Mary and Dennis watching their grandson, Isaac Emeneth, all the way from Bismarck. Isaac Emeneth making some waves earlier in the play. Thank you once again for your support of Shanley TV. Glad to see your own blood making some plays out on the field tonight, being able to give Shanley some sparks when they needed it. So it is 2nd and 17. Or excuse me, 1st down and 17 for the Packers as Jancy looks to pass. He looks deep, and that ball will be broken up by Carter Kochman, trying to connect with Seth Nyhoff on that play. Good defense there by Kochman. Almost looked like he was about to come up with an interception. Yeah, we see Carter do a good job of staying in front of him and just batting that ball down, as it will now be 2nd down and 17 for the Packers.
Yeah, what about that pass protection, too, for Jancy? His O-line's doing a very good job, giving him about, like, 5 to 6 seconds to throw the ball. And it's hard for a quarterback to make those crisp passes when you got one guy covered by 3 downfield.
Yeah, and earlier in the game, we kind of saw Jancy having to scramble around a little bit as the pocket would collapse. But like you said, their offensive line has been able to give them some more time to throw the ball and kind of look downfield, let routes develop, as he'll be chased down there by Hunter Hannison. And that will be Jancy sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Will bring up 3rd down and very long for the Packers offense.
Great play by Hannison on that outside linebacker position. He just blitzes on the outside, gets around the tight end, sorry about that, and he just catches up to Jancy.
Yeah, a nice shoestring tackle there by Hunter Hannison to get Jancy behind the line of scrimmage, as that will bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Packers offense. Time still winding down, just 7:50 left in the game. And the Packers will be from their own 31-yard line. We see money down from the Deacons sideline, as there will be 2 receivers out to the left. Jancy drops back to pass, rolls out to his left a little bit, and he will look to connect with, I believe that is Mason Soderling. And that will fall incomplete and brings up 4th down and 24 for the West Fargo offense. So 4th and very long for the Packers here. I do not see Jancy out on the field, so it looks like it will just select the punt. Maybe the smart play here, as it will be Casey Ortiz getting ready to punt the ball away for the Packers. Carson Dean back to receive for the Deacons. So the snap a little high. Nice job of Ortiz there by getting the ball in his possession. And this will be Dean, who will return it for the Deacons, trying to get around one defender, but will be brought down right away at the 25-yard line. Maybe a little farther.
Good punt by Ortiz there. Made up for that bad snap, and he bombs that one about 40 yards.
Yeah, able to get control of the ball as quick as he can and get it. Yeah, a nice punt down the field. Is I think Carson Dean had to back up a little bit. Yeah, Carson Dean, I remember last week we were talking about him as one of those, to put it into Madden terms, one of those players who likes to use the right stick, likes to make moves, do some spins, some jukes, but not quite able to get around the West Fargo defender on that kick or punt return. So Madden will just look to pass right away. Pocket collapsing a little bit as he will look for Aiden Devine, but that ball will be over his head and out of bounds. 2nd and 10 now for the Deacons. And the Deacons kind of straying away from that no-huddle offense now. And the Deacons will line up with 3 receivers split out to the left. Mattern alone in the backfield with 2 receivers out to the right. He will look over his options. Pocket will collapse, and he'll tuck it for himself to run. And he will be met almost immediately for only a short gain of maybe 1 yard on that play. And it will be a gain of 1. It will be 3rd down and 9 now for the Deacons. And they will stay in that same formation with trips to the left and doubles to the right. And Mattern pocket collapsing once again, having to scramble a little bit. He will just throw up a deep one, looking for, I believe that he was looking for Johnny Gores, but that pass will be intercepted by Carter Bierenkott. So another time we see Bierenkott's name pop up, as once again the air will be taken out of the Deacons offense completely, as the West Fargo Packers will regain possession of the ball with just 6:51 left in the game, up by 2 scores. Shanley does still have 3 timeouts. We'll see if I realistically see West Fargo just trying to keep the ball on the ground, run the ball, gain some yardage, waste time, and try to just close things out until the end of the game. So the Packers will line up with 3 receivers split out to the right. Jancy will be under center. Nelson alone in the backfield. And Jancy will they will run the HB blast once again to Parker Nelson. Nelson met immediately. Doesn't look like there's any gain on the play. So that will bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Packers. Packers still at their own 35-yard line.
If you were coaching the Packers, would you throw in a couple pass plays, maybe down deep or something with this blitz-heavy defense the Deacons are running?
You know, I wouldn't throw it completely out. I'd definitely try to stick to my run game as much as possible. But yeah, if needed, I would maybe try to air one out. Maybe not for that long of a pass, but try to air a couple plays out for a gain through the air. As we see West Fargo trying to stick to their run game, and as it is unsuccessful, they're met at the line once again by this strong defensive line. And it will be, I believe, third down and 11 for the West Fargo Packers. So another 3rd and long situation for this West Fargo offense. Time still winding down, 5:40 and counting. As this conversion could be a big play here. Could waste a lot more time in the game if they are able to convert. And this will be Jancy dropping back to pass. And he will look for Hagerly, and that ball will fall incomplete. Good coverage there by Isaac Emeneth.
And John Gores just had his fingers right on the tip of that ball. And luckily, Isaac Emeneth came in for that hit.
So 4th down and 11 now, as I believe Casey Ortiz will come out on the field to punt it away. Punt it away once again to Carson Dean. Dean around the 35-yard line. So just 5:23 left in this game. Shanley down by 2 scores, about to get the ball back. And Ortiz's punt almost blocked by Aiden Devine, it looks like, and Dean will let that ball roll and just let it be down by the Packers punt team, as the Deacons will start from their own 30-yard line with just 5:09 left in this game, in need of 2 scores just to tie this game. And now, Adam, a little hypothetical for you. What if you were the coach? Would you be maybe trying to air out the ball a little bit more, even though the Deacons haven't had all that much success in this quarter, in this half? Or do you just maybe, I don't know, just try to pound the ball down the field with your run game or some short passes? What do you think?
Personally, I'd probably throw some passes and maybe some options.
And the ball will be fumbled. A little not so clean handoff there, and that will be recovered by the West Fargo Packers defense. So things just definitely not going in Shanley's favor, as it looked like handoff may have been just a little high. So things definitely looking pretty bleak for the Deacons right now, as West Fargo gets that ball back, up by 14 at the Deacons' 30-yard line with just 5 minutes left. I don't want to say this game's quite over yet, because you never know, but you're kind of in desperation mode if you're Shanley right now. So the Packers will come out with 2 receivers split out to the right, and Jancy joined by Nelson once again in the backfield. Nelson will get this handoff, just tries to go up the middle. So he will be met almost immediately at the line. Gain maybe of 1, maybe 2. And it looks like, and Shanley will take a timeout here. And why do you think they're calling this timeout? Just to kind of stop the clock or maybe talk things over?
They just got to talk things over, and I think they just got to get a little break, get some water, and just recoup and try to get a stop.
Yeah, there's a lot that's been happening for Shanley recently. In this quarter specifically, there was a kick return for a touchdown. There was an interception for the Packers. There was a West Fargo fumble recovery. And I don't believe Shanley has scored in this quarter. I think Dean's touchdown was in the 3rd quarter. So in this 4th quarter, just things not many things going right for Shanley, as they've turned the ball over a couple times here. Their offense has proven to be quite unsuccessful. And with only 4:58 left, with the Packers regaining possession of the ball deep in Shanley's territory, I'd definitely say you're in desperation mode right now if you're the Deacons.
You mentioning like Deacons turning over the ball. Do you think with that last fumble and just all these drop passes and just bad plays, do you think they could be up right now or tied?
I wouldn't be surprised if Shanley was within, I wouldn't be surprised if they were within one score because, yeah, we saw 2 drives where they showed a little bit of success, but, yeah, turned the ball right over. So it's hard to tell, but I wouldn't be surprised this game was maybe only 1 score difference.
Yeah, and I remember last year when the Deacons played the Packers, I think they had about 4 or 5 fumbles, and they didn't get called off or anything, and that turned the game around. They lost by a couple points.
Yeah, I could really see what you're saying now with that, with all those turnovers and that last fumble really changing the momentum and just kind of letting West Fargo know, okay, we may have this in the bag since Shanley is unable to take hold of some opportunities given, as this ball will be handed off once again to Nelson. Nelson just continuing to plow his way through that defensive line. And that will be Reese Rusted, the senior, on the tackle. One of those good players you like to see always getting minutes, always working hard out there, putting in the grit, always putting in the time and effort during practice. It's always good to see players like that getting recognition on the varsity level.
Do you think these fumbles are caused by the temperature outside, or do you think it's just like a mental screw-up?
I don't know. I'd say it's more of a mental screw-up because last week when we saw a lot of fumbles, a lot of me and Henry were kind of saying that we thought maybe it was a little bit of cold temperature, but then it wasn't that cold. And right now, I don't think it's too cool out. And obviously, with most of them wearing gloves, both Divine is wearing gloves. Mattern is not, but still, I don't think it's cold enough to warrant the fumbles that they're turning over right now. But I don't know. Could be the cold, I guess, but I'd say from my point of view, it appears to be more just mental errors that they're making.
Yeah, for sure. I think they just got to, next week in practice, they just got to practice on ball security, just getting crisp handoffs and stuff, and maybe in the future season they could just have some bad, like rainy days, freezing temps, and you're probably going to have more turnovers then than this game.
Yeah, I know there's one drill that Shanley likes to kind of do is get the balls wet and then pass them around so they get used to catching wet balls. They might have to do that with just holding on to the football with ball security, as it's not wet right now. A little cool, I'll give them that. But, yeah, they definitely got to work on ball security going into this week of practice, as that was a trend last game and a little bit in this game as well. So it is, I believe, 1st and 10 now for the Packers. Or, excuse me, for the Deacons, sorry. So Shanley trying to take what hope they have left and turn it into points, as they will line up with 3 receivers to the right, and Mattern will fake the handoff to Divine, and the pocket will collapse right away. He will connect with Tyler Kraft. Kraft with a nice little gain, and they will pick up the first down for the Deacons. And the clock will run once they get the chains down, as there it goes. Deacons with 3 receivers to the right once again on this 1st and 10 play. Mattern will just look to pass, scrapping to scramble once again. Just tucking the ball away after almost looking like he's about to throw it. And that'll be Mattern with a nice 5 or so yard gain. Clock's still winding down here, just 3:40 and counting. So the Deacons will stay in that same formation with 3 receivers split out to the right. As this lucky break for the Deacons, as that snap goes through the legs of Cooper Mattern right through the 5-hole, but a flag is thrown on the play, blowing it dead. Yeah, it just like it was just a little bit of a low snap there, got through Mattern's legs, but like I said, lucky break for the Deacons getting that flag. So that will bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Deacons. Another low snap, but got caught there by Cooper Mattern. As Mattern will just take it for himself and will be taken down by that is Houston Visto on the stop for the West Fargo defense.
Good job by Visto there, getting down lower than Cooper Mattern, and Cooper just couldn't get his shoulder into him, and Visto drove into him and made a good tackle.
So on 3rd down and 3 there, we see Mattern trying to reach for the first down, but unable to get there, as there's 3 minutes and counting now for the rest of the game.
They got to get this ball in the air if they want to get a chance at a touchdown even.
I agree. This run game so far has been working as they will throw out a little screen to Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores looks like he will pick up the first down, will convert the fourth down conversion for the Shanley offense. And he will get out of bounds, so that will stop the clock. So the Deacons staying in that formation with 3 split out to the right and just Divine in the backfield with Mattern, as Mattern will look to connect with, that looks like Johnny Gores, incomplete. They'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Deacons. Just 2:42 left in the game. The Packers leading 35-21. And the Deacons now from their own 45-yard line. And this time they'll come out with 3 receivers split out to the left. However, Mattern is still joined by Divine in the backfield, as Mattern will just look for a little screen out to Divine. Divine getting a little bit of a corner, getting up the field through a couple defenders and picking up the first down for the Deacons. There we see Divine with that shifty power running, being able to get a lot of force behind him, but also being able to find little holes and maneuver his way through the defense. So it is 1st and 10 now for the Deacons. Clock winding down, 2.5 minutes. Mattern looks to pass. He connects with Tyler Kraft. Tyler Kraft will be taken down right away. Nice gain, or will pick up the first down for the Deacons, excuse me.
Good job by the Deacons getting the first down, getting the clock stopped, and just getting ready to recoup and get a score.
As Mattern will fake the handoff and looks to pass. Pocket collapsing, as that will be, I believe that is Casey Ortiz with a huge sack. Kind of flexing on the fans there after that monstrous sack. Just taking Cooper Mattern straight to the ground. So that will bring up 2nd down and 20, a big loss for the Deacons. And they will hand it off to Divine on this play. Divine shaking off a couple of people, staying on his feet. Divine looking like a true football guy on that play, as it looks like he may have gotten a bit woozy for a second, but stayed on his feet and continued the run. Very gritty play there by Aiden Divine. As there's a 1:40 just now left in the game, as Mattern will just drop back, look to pass. Pocket collapsing around him, and he will just tuck the ball and run it. Gets the ball out of bounds, as that will bring up 4th down. And I believe that will be 4th down and looks like 5. So 4th and 5 from the Packers' 26-yard line. Mattern looks for a screen, but the pocket collapses around him. He just throws the ball. That will be loose, or they will call that an incomplete pass. Another little lucky break there for the Deacons, as it looked like it was more of a shovel pass by Cooper Mattern. Yeah, and there we see the West Fargo Packers applying a lot of pressure to Mattern late in this game. That will bring up. All right, that will be a turnover on downs, so the ball now back in the hands of the Packers. And at this point, I think it might be safe to say that this game is coming to a close. Shanley down by 14, and West Fargo with possession of the ball with just a 1:26 left in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end of the game. As we were touching on earlier, West Fargo does a good job of winding down the clock while maintaining possession of the ball and getting a couple yards on the play. So the Packers with 2 out to the left, and that'll be Jancy just handing it off to Nelson. Once again, Nelson getting to that outside as we've seen so many times earlier, as he is able to pick up the first down and much more for the Packers.
Looks like he has the same speed he had in the first half of this game. It looks like he didn't lose any energy, and he's still aggressive.
Yeah, and that's kind of surprising with, I believe Nelson's been on the field for every snap for this West Fargo offense. He's looking like my running backs in Madden, as he's just constantly getting the ball but not slowing down one bit, keeping the ability to grind for the extra yardage.
Yeah, with the amount of time he spends running east and west and getting around to the corner, I'm just amazed at how fast he is.
So what'll probably be the last few plays here is that'll be Jancy handing off to Nelson. Nelson with another nice gain, getting it up through the defensive line. And he will pick up the first down for the Packers. And just 41.7 seconds left here, as the clock will resume once the sticks do get down. So West Fargo will have to run off one more play before this game comes to an end. And going back to what we were saying pregame, I think we may have jinxed the Deacons here by bringing up that whole West Fargo is the only team to ever beat them on homecoming, so I'll take full credibility for that. My apologies. This is not the first time I've been in the I'm not the victim here, but the offender of the announcer's jinx. As this game will come to an end, clock finally hitting 0 here. Your final score, West Fargo Packers 35, Shanley Deacons 21, as West Fargo comes into Shanley's home field and disrupts the party for homecoming. Adam, any final takeaways before we finish up this broadcast?
I just have a couple things for the Deacons. I think they got to figure out, or they can't really change their mentality, but they can find the guys that want to beat teams and that want to be on the football field. Next, they can practice on ball security and just working on crisper plays. Like, you can't take those practice plays and practice for granted. And some guys, like, I know it gets long doing the same thing over and over again, but it actually shows in games, and that's going to help you in the football game. And then last, I think they just got to be better as a team. Like, practice will help you do that. Team bonding. I know it's hard with COVID and everything, but just being together as a team and working hard in the weight room and in practice, that's just another thing that's going to help a football team win.
Yeah, and going back to what you said, going forward, they're definitely going to have to try to limit those turnovers. As I believe there was a total of 4 or 5, maybe even 6 turnovers tonight, as last week we saw a lot of turnovers for them as well. That's something that they're going to have to drastically change going forward. And West Fargo, on the other hand, they were looking pretty crisp all around. They were able to run the ball, pass the ball. Their defense was looking very solid. Their defensive line maintaining their presence throughout the game. So not a lot that West Fargo has to change, but Shanley going forward, they're going to have to make some major changes, especially on the offensive side, limiting those turnovers. But, however, for Andy Simon and for Adam Deeds, and our entire crew, I'm Andy Simon. The final score from Fargo, your Shanley Deacons 21, your West Fargo Packers 35. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcast, go to ShanleyTV.com. This proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV, and thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all the support that you've shown us. We are very grateful. Thank you.
This broadcast is presented by